Hi guys, thought I'd try and do another little blast from the past, show you some old miniatures that I've had around for quite a while. Um, the first one, thought you might find interesting. If you go to their website right now, GW has a release of an advanced order release of Chaos Warriors, and see if one of them doesn't really look like this guy. Let me try to get this other. Boy, I tell you, this is. Does that look familiar? Yeah, you can tell that's got to be 20, 25 years old. So it must be old sculpts that they're bringing back. Price actually probably isn't too bad when you see four of them, $6 a piece. I imagine probably at the time I bought these it was more like $3 a piece. But so much for advance orders, re-releasing stuff that's over 20 years old. This group is just warriors. Don't know that I know all of the companies. Excuse me. Probably back in the day where didn't even paint chainmail, just left it metallic, painted the rest of the miniature. Some of you guys have been in the gaming for a long time, might recognize some of these. This guy probably, I don't know, maybe it was painted over in the last 10 years. Used him in a Savage Worlds game. Kind of a lion creature. Either Slipstream or Sundered Skies, can't remember which of the two. Little dry brushing there, so it's probably been within the last 10 years. I know Cat Edifish wanted to see one of my earliest paint jobs. This is probably one of my earliest paint jobs. He was a D&D figure I played. I think he was out of a Ratham set of Dragon Lord. He was a Dragon Lord, maybe. Fantasy Warriors. The first two games of D&D that I ever played, I died in, which the guys assured me that's not normal. But the third one that I played in, I rolled up a character for a half-elf paladin called Regis Silvercrest, and I played him for a lot of campaigns. And this is the figure that I ended up painting for him. And I'm sorry to go into such a long story, but having one of my typical nights, I really wasn't rolling the dice all that well and was stuck on some type of an obstacle. Didn't get to the last room when everybody else was there, and they encountered a black dragon that was pretty much taking out the party. And when I finally showed up, I walked in and did an all-out attack with two swords. Got a critical hit. Got best roll I could get on the critical hit table. And the dragon got the worst roll it could have gotten on the critical hit table and ended up severing a wing and taking him out, which was a pretty good scenographic ending. I was going to take some kind of a trophy, and the dungeon master at the time was pretty creative. He says, well, I'll let you make some armor out of that dragon scale. It'll be impervious to acid and give you a better armor class. And that's really what led to the painting up of this figure. And that's kind of the point that it's taking me a long time to get to. Pardon me. When you play the game as well as do the hobby, your experience in playing the game can have an effect on the models that you select and the way that you paint them. This guy got painted up wearing black armor. because of that one fun scenario. And you know, in all the years that I paid him, I don't think we ever did run into another acid using creature. But he had a good armor class. Excuse me. I'm going to try and get through this without coughing my head off. Mounted figure. Pretty good chunk of lead. Excuse me. This may be Reaper or Rapham. Another guy that I played. As you can tell, I was a hack and slash player. I always liked having two weapons. Defense was never my strong point. This is one of the guys, I don't know if I can get it up here. Yeah, you probably can't tell. Where I'd actually used a small blue gem, put it in the helm. Kind of a way of cheating. Nowadays you should do a really super paint job to get a gleaming gem, but there was a quick, dirty way to do it. You can see with these figures, not a lot of shading or blending. Some early freehand on my part. As you can see, do you like the double weapons? Painted an awful lot of fantasy figures through the years, not near as much sci-fi. But I'm really kind of getting interested in the sci-fi stuff now, especially the Space Wolves. Boy, these were fairly heavy chunks. There's your Chaos Warrior. Tried to pick out detail, but like I said, back in this, at this point, just didn't color on the model. Not a whole lot of shading and stuff like that. Always like this guy. Kind of a desert warrior. Like the action in the cape. Scimitar. Another chaos-like warrior. Pretty good detail on these models for back when they were cast. Of course, at the time, a lot of it had to do with role-playing. So, you have individual poses. Not a lot of repetition for ranking of armies and squads and that type of thing. So I guess a lot more attention was paid to putting unique details on the model. There's a swordsman more from like a fencing Don't know what I was thinking here. Maybe a red bandit or something. Okay, there's a bunch of warriors from the past. Hopefully you saw some stuff if you've been in it for a long time, or saw some interesting sculpts. I would say scale-wise, this is probably quite a bit smaller than the heroic scale that we do today, but that's about it. Hope you saw something you enjoyed. God bless you all, and I'll be talking to you later.